An innocent woman jailed.
It's barbaric. An officer must be just, or else it all unravels.
Helen is right. The truth lies down there, somewhere. This is no coincidence. This all connects back to the curse.
How often, Abigail, must we have this fight? How often must we argue?
We shall argue until you hear.
How often, Abigail, must we have this fight? How often must we argue?
We shall argue until you hear me.
I hear you not. Now, the selfish shriek.
One of these days I shall poison your soul.
And the day before, I'll take you to the highest cliff and push you off it.
Please excuse my husband. He really is as unpleasant as he sounds. And who are you, then?
Red McCraith, ma'am. I'm a banisher.
Are you, indeed? Pleased to meet you, Mr. Banisher. I'm Abigail Rumble. Thanks to you, me and my husband should soon be able to go back to our mountains.
Anything talk-worthy round these parts?
Ferdinando Miller has been the talk of the town lately. He has had much good fortune, and many resent him for it. I like the lad. He's polite, helpful, listens to his customers. He deserves no backbiting.
What's your thoughts on Pennington? A good leader?
He gave John a job. That was good. We hadn't worked since we left the Bly place. He saw John's promise and gave him his chance. I'd say he's a good leader.
Helen Priest seems to get the work done.
The captain trusts her with his life. So do I. John adores her. When the fort was attacked, she proved us right. I like having a strong woman in charge.
Your husband won't mind us talking.
No, why would he? We are faithful and trustworthy. As, I'm sure, are you.
She doubts your intentions.
No need to worry about me, ma'am. I'm spoken for.
Good. We understand one another. My husband and I are very close. Very close indeed.
Then you have my admiration. Sustaining such closeness takes much tolerance and hard work.
You don't know how good you've got it.
You and your husband prefer an isolated life outside the fort?
I have a roof above my head, my belly is rarely empty, and I live by my beliefs. We suffered for many years. By comparison, this is bliss.
Do you not find it dangerous out here? Just the two of you alone?
I thank you for your concern, but we live how we live, and it makes us quite contented.
I'll let you get back to your day, madam.
If you need anything, feel free to ask.
Now, Mr. Peabody, I shall drain the first boil. Ready?
Same sodding question every sodding time. No, I'm not damn well ready.
Excellent. Then we'll begin.
Be careful, goddarn it! Careful! Ah!
I know. Shh.
Who the hell are you? Queen Mary Stuart?
Well, I've met Mary II, and she's a little prettier than I. I'm Red McCreath. I'm a Banisher.
The Banisher come to gloat at sick old Cotton Peabody. Well, piss off. There's a sudden stink of death in here, Scotsman, and it ain't from me.
What's the word around here?
No one tattles to me stuck in here. Captain came by once, worried for Andrew White. Seems the old boy screams in his sleep.
There's a lot of it about. White's a gate guard, right? What's his story?
He sees ghosts in his sleep. He's dreaming. Real ghosts come when you're awake.
How's life about the fort?
What do you want to hear? It's cold. We're hungry. Welcome to paradise.
Tell me about Helen Priest. I promise it won't get back to her.
Lieutenant's wife. Stood second to the captain herself. Now she's in command. Quite the rise, no?
Tell me about the captain. Speak freely, I'll not get back to him.
Let you get back to him. The captain is the rest of us, and I'm proud to serve him. Proud, too, to give him my guidance when he'd call. Not that he calls no more. Suppose he has too much on his plate. Time's precious for the likes of the captain, eh?
Where did you fight, soldier?
None of your business, Scotsman.
This, comrade, is why no one wants to talk to you.
You know, soldier, you're a brawler and a rebel, and if you fought at all, I'll wager you lost. I'm a proper soldier, me. Self-made, too. Left the family farm and signed up to fight them Indians. I learned the hard way, in the blood and the snow. Fought under the captain himself, I did. And followed him here and joined the train band.
When did you get sick?
What's it to you? I'm not so sick as I can't give some nosy Scotsman what for.
Aye. When I'm sick, I get surly too. As you were, Mr. Peabody. See you about.
Not like I can go anywhere anyways.
My apologies. I did not wish to hush you. I just prefer to focus on one patient at a time. Welcome to the infirmary. I'm Nurse Wings. Anne, if it sets you at ease.
I'm a Banisher. Name's McCreath, but you may call me Red.
Red. A pleasure to see a friendly face, or any face at all. What can I do for you?
What's the word around here?
I don't see folk much. I stay here, keep to myself.
No visitors? No other patients?
Helen Preece comes when she can. Captain Pennington would sometimes visit Mr. Peabody, but I haven't seen him in a while now.
What about you? How do you feel?
Oh, I'm alive and well. I'll not complain. I can be strong for those less fortunate.
You're a good soul, Nurse Wings.
I do my best, Mr. McCraith. I'm sure you do yours.
Tell me about Helen Preece.
The bold lieutenant's widow. He's dead some years now, and she's not remarried. She's as much a soldier as her husband was. A fighter. Commanding, too. Even dead, you can see his influence in her bearing.
I think I know how that feels. What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He fought King Philip in the Wampanoag. Led his company well, I'm told. It's not for me to like or dislike him, unpleasant though he may be.
Times being as they are, how come you only have the one patient?
Mr. Peabody's illness is unsightly. Fort Jericho has a history of contagion. Folk worry.
Did you not fear infection?
If I did, I would not show it.
What does he have?
Not my place to say. You'll have to ask him yourself.
All right. I'll not press you. So, how'd you end up here? What brought you to nursing?
That, sir, is a personal question.
I'm a personable man.
That's not the same thing. I was sick as a child. Very sick. Afterwards, I swore I'd serve others when they were sick. And here I am. What about you?
I fell in love with a Banisher. One of the best. Spent the happiest years of my life with her.
And where are they now?
Antea died in the meeting house in New Eden Town.
Ah, that was you. I should have known. I'm so very sorry for your loss, Red. So very sorry.
Farewell, Nurse Wings.
Farewell, and good health, sir.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? And if me eyes weren't sore before, they are now.
You don't get many visitors, do you?
Aye, and I like it that way.
As you were, Mr. Peabody. See you about.
Not like I can go anywhere anyways.
These look nasty. Poor man.
Never a good sign.
Perhaps there's a key.
You're new. From where have you sprung?
Name's Red McCraith, a Banisher, come from across the deep blue sea.
You look a landlubber to me. You should feel right at home. John Rumble.
What's the word round here?
Look around you. We're barely hanging on. You'll have to be Miller to enjoy the situation.
The merchant?
Aye, the freedman. He's the only one who'll leave Fort Jericho with more than he came with. Some people have all the luck.
I'm interested in Sebastian Priest. Do you know him?
I did not. But I know the lieutenant's name. We all do. He died a hero. Called comfort to Helen, no doubt.
Can you tell me anything about Helen Priest?
A bold woman. Clever too. I'd be glad to take her orders.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
What about him?
I don't know. Is he a good commander? Do you like him? Does he have secrets, that kind of thing?
If, say, I thought him a blockhead, then I'd not say so. If, say, it was my wife's stupid idea for me to join the train band, I'd not say that neither.
I've met your wife. Fine woman.
She is that high. Count myself lucky. Are you a married man, Mr. McCraith?
Marriage wasn't for us. Well, I suppose you could have called us man and wife.
No, you could not.
Marriage is a union conceived by men. Men are fallible.
Aye. Our feelings exactly. We were happy. Why ruin it and live to regret it?
Regret? Oh, I've no regrets. She's a fine woman, my wife. Finer than likes of me deserves. I'll not say a word against her. Not a word, sir.
May you prosper in good health, John.
He that does good is of God.
Enough, John. I'll not listen to another moment of your ranting.
'Tis no rant. Pennington's back though,
The store.
and we're all soft.
Fernando's?
Captain's... What do you do? Trees?
Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. Vardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
What is he afraid of? What don't we know? Let's search the store.
Closed. Are we in the right place?
Try next door. Surprisingly high quality wares.
Can't be many left in New Eden with the means to buy. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
No. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A banisher. Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
What was she lying? You inherited her estate.
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales, to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
A storekeeper hears much. What do you hear, Mr. Miller?
I'm a busy man. If you've a question to ask, then ask it.
How are things in the fort, by your estimation?
Look around you. Things are desperate. Have you heard the sound of their bodies crashing against the wood? I am a man of courage. I have endured much. But this, it undoes me. I don't know what you people have done to this country, but there's little hope and no way out.
What think you of Helen Priest?
I don't think of Ellen Priest. I stay out of her way. I hope she'll stay out of mine.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He has no problem with me. I have no problem with him. He respected Rebecca's wishes. He gave me what was mine. My freedom. Her estate. He saw me as a man and signed the papers to say so. And when them who saw different complained, he laid down the law.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet, none of it works. Pretty though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Is he wiping the slate clean and moving on?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
A better deal for her than for him.
He wants to forget it all and start a new life.
But she came back.
Storeroom. Locked. There's a lock. I'm gonna need a key. Nope.
So Shepard owns Rebecca Hardgrave's things now.
He'll likely keep his things in the barrack room.
I mean, as wolf pelts go, it's pretty, but I've more than enough of them. Folk in Boston are not short of them.
You've saved our sorry asses, sir. Of that, there's no doubt. You've earned us a rare bit of rest, and that comes most welcome.
You all right, soldier? You look drop dead weary.
The dead don't sleep, do they? And me being asleep won't stop 'em coming.
Your comrades think you're too scared to sleep. You should prove them wrong.
I don't give 5 shites what they think. They may tend to their own duty while I tend to mine.
Let's cut to it. I think you're haunted. The good news is that I can help.
The Banisher thinks I'm haunted, does he? Nah, I ain't important enough to be haunted. I ain't important, and I don't deserve no help. Wasted time helping me anyway.
You heard the man. He wants no help. I see no reason to force it on him. For now, at least.
How are folk doing? Fighting fit?
They're farmers, most of them. Shopkeepers, house servants, hunters. We've one old soldier, but he's sick. Them who stand dead on their feet. Fighting fit, my arse. But we hold against the hordes of the dead. For now, leastways. The fight's not fair. That's it.
Life's unfair. Armour up.
Right, I used to think that too. Mind you, I'm not sure there's enough armor left.
You had any good scuttle lately?
I'll spill it if I have it, but be quick. I'm busy.
We've known an officer or 3, you and me. So, tell me about the captain.
In nigh on 20 years' service, I've not met a commander more efficient, nor one so relentless. Ever a pain in the ass, aye. A good one. But that was then and this is now. He's not the man he was. Still a pain in the arse, mind.
What think you now of Helen Priest?
Wow, she's like her husband. Only yet better. Command is in her blood. She reminds me of my old mum. The Queen of Topsfield Common, we used to call her. Born to give orders, she was. And you dare not disobey.
Did you know Sebastian Priest?
I surely did. Good man, hell of a soldier. Had kingly ideals, but did not strut like a crow in the gutter. Hero is an ill-used tag, oft misassigned. But Lieutenant Priest was a hero, and a proper one at that.
Peaceful watch to you. I'd like to help him. Old soldier and all.
All right. Let's start with his billet.
Good day, sir. Nathaniel Sather at your service. What can I do for you?
Mr. Sather remains to be seen. Red McCraith, by the way. The Banisher. You have, as my granny would say, the power to talk the back legs off a 2-footed donkey. But I bet you listen, too. What do you hear hereabouts?
Oh, little of interest. Pennington has signed John Rumble to the train band, which means nothing at all to me. I believe John was down the flooded mine. That can't have been fun. Maybe the militia will be good for him.
Huh? You never know who'll take to soldiering.
You say that, and I defer to your experience, but I'm sure it's not for me.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
It's cold. Our clothes are inelegant, the walls are drab. There's no music, no conviviality. There's no gaiety. Boston isn't much of a city, but I miss it. I wonder what I could make of this place were I allowed.
You can paint a turnip red, but it still won't be an apple.
True. but stack enough red-painted turnips about the place and even the dourest Scotsman shall surely crack a smile.
What do you think of Helen Priest, then?
I'd put her in charge if I could. She's bright, trustworthy, thinks for herself. She's not married to old doctrine. People here are desperate. They're sick, they need courage. And Helen Priest fears nothing.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
The captain? I've not a single bad word to say about that dismally antiquated, superannuated old man. His depth of experience is inspiring, although I shudder to think what those experiences have done to him. But we should respect our elders. We should listen to their point of view, and then ignore it as we look to the future.
You seem a chatty fella.
We see precious few new faces around here. You'll forgive me if I use you for fresh conversation.
Tell me about yourself. Share your business. Tell me what's important to you.
I'm from Boston. I love it very much. So much more lively. A fine mix of conviviality and anonymity. I miss that life. The music. The colour and the splendour. The dance of commerce. The flower sellers' forget-me-nots. Oh, the forget-me-nots. I very much wish to go home.
What are you doing here, then?
I'm the shop boy. When the store moves, I move with it. Old man Ingersoll opened up a general store in Boston back in '78. Then he married Bathsheba. I came with them to New Eden intending to quickly return, but Mr. Ingersoll died. I extended my stay. They took me on when I was just a boy. I've no family. All I have is my Thomas, my closest friend.
I heard you bought some things from Ferdinando Miller. Might I see them, do you think?
Oh, the paintings. Yes, you must have a look. Beautiful pieces they are, and on sale at a very attractive price. If there's one thing a man like you needs out here on the mountain, it's paintings.
I must go. Thank you for your time.
And I for yours. Take care.
Pretty. The work, I mean.
We know where to go. The barrack room.
Good day to you, Miss.
Miss? I'm the Hunter Flora Abbott, and I never miss. You?
It is rare, but I've been known to miss. Red McCraith, Banisher.
I heard about you when you first arrived. Is your friend not with you?
She died. She's with me in spirit.
Sad to hear it. I have nothing clever than that to say. If you need anything, well, I probably can't help.
What do you know? Tell me about your day-to-day.
If I did, would you listen?
How are you yourself?
I do my work and do it well. Though few notice.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
Not my favorite person, if I'm honest, but in the fight against the dead, she's an asset.
Talk to me of Captain Pennington.
I've worked for worse. I'm able and I give him no trouble. In return, he makes sure I get none. He respects me. That makes him an excellent judge of character, don't you think?
So you hunt for the fort? Are you part of the train band?
I serve, in my way. Before the curse, I traded with the people of New Eden. Meat and fur, bartered for whatever they had that I needed.
How did you end up in New Eden? You won't mind me saying that you're not like most people here.
And yet, I am a New Englander. Born on a farm not far from Boston, but always preferred the wild. So I came to New Eden. In time, I came to love it. It's cursed, and I'm still here, aren't I?
I'll take my leave of you, Flora.
I'll not stop you.
Right. Andrew's things. Where are these?
A vivid the quill resonates. An echo, perhaps.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he did once, and now he doesn't.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
Banisher?
Folk talk about you. About your past.
I know what they say. They say I am a murderer. They are wrong. As she lay dying, Rebecca Hardgrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too.
Rebecca was in love with you. The feeling was not mutual. True?
I was her pet. A dog nuzzling its master, hoping she might loosen its leash. She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different. And I'd do the same again. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
I'm a banisher, Mr. Miller, not a rat catcher. Ghosts were human. They're emotional, full of hopes and fears about the past and the future too. To find out what ties the ghost to the living and end the haunting, I must know the story. You want me to finish the job? Then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch, and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
You're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave. What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
True love requires you to let go.
Time to give this love story an ending.
Rebecca Hardgrave, your love for Fadi Miller is sincere but unwanted. You're hurting him. Let him go.
Is it wrong to wish to spend your life with the man you love?
You did spend your life with him. Now your life is over.
He was mine. I wanted to keep him. Was I wrong?
You don't own him. You can't own him.
Let go. Find peace.
Peace? She gets peace? After all she did?
I get peace, but you get your freedom. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Fadi. For everything.
You have been here.
She deserves no peace. She put me through hell. You don't care, Banisher. Just one more mad master in a madder world.
We need the money.
We have enough. Leave me alone.
Do you think only of yourself?
careful. A dark will is upon that thing.
You are sent back.
Reward given to a brave soldier. I believe we found Andrew's things.
This is our best lead yet. Maybe we missed something in the infirmary.
Maybe. After that, we might look for his train band record. Pretty empty armory.
Looks like someone's been living in here.
A metal trinket to mark a life of sacrifice. Oh, I bet he'd rather have his sleep back.
At least he made it home.
Aye. And he didn't.
Any idea who this ghost might be?
We may know a soldier by his trail of dead. Could be anyone. 13 years is a long time to live haunted.
White must have a will of iron.
Kept it to himself. Must have been hellish. I'll talk to Andrew. Might perk him up a bit. Should have had your breakfast, friend. Anyway, greetings.
I'm Antea Duarte. This here is Red McWraith. We're Banishers. Now, who are you and what do you want? You chose to manifest. Why is that? Are you looking for help? Who are you? This isn't gonna be easy, is it? Are you the ghost haunting Andrew White? Is that a yes or a no? Mute ghosts take forever.
This is pointless. We're hunting in the dark with no light and no spoor.
First, you have to find out what's keeping him from speaking. Andrew won't be much help. But if our friend here can't tell us what he wants, maybe he can show us. Do you want us to follow you? I think he wants us to follow him. He left stains. Clever. I'll keep an eye out so we don't lose them. Here, we can go on. I'm reminded of one of my first cases. The ghost was mute because the person haunted refused to talk.
So this one is mute because of Andrew?
I don't know. Maybe. He wants us to follow him. This way. The ghost haunting Andrew seems weak. Drawing out the torture the better to enjoy it? Or holding itself back, afraid to feed too much?
If mine had been so kind, maybe I'd have slept nights. I'm jealous.
Don't be. These ones are the worst. Years withering, decades even. It's an awful way to go.
Stay down.
Our friend the ghost could have shown us a safer route.
Or he's just playing with us. The ghost has something to show us. spectral writing on the wall. See for yourself. Our ghost does not seek revenge. That makes things easier.
Joshua Gouge, gone too soon.
What's it going to say? Joshua Gouge outstayed his welcome. Our new friend is waiting for us. Here, we can go on. Joshua looks kindly on Andrew. What were they to each other?
Brothers in arms, man. You never feel as close to a mate as when you fight by his side. You fight for the man beside you, not for money, not for a king. For your mate.
You have friends from the war. First I've heard of them.
They lost contact. Maybe when this is over, I'll look them up. Most young men are taught to dream of war. And when they get there, they dream of home. And they're not busy fighting and dying, that is.
He wants us to follow him. They're vexed now.
Let's get back up! I feel an echo ringing.
like a hum.
Shite! To arms! To arms! They waylay us!
The right flank! Hold them off!
Josh! Behind you!
Goddamn bastard in cove! Help me!
Joshua! No!
Nice to meet you again, Joshua.
You want us to help Andrew White give up his guilt and get on with his life. Am I right?
We know you died fighting by his side. Is that why he feels guilty? Is this why you can't speak? Oh, I've been there. I'll do everything I can to help.
If help we can.
Only these two could talk to each other.
Andrew needs to start talking. As long as he swallows his guilt, nothing will change. There's a wall between these two, and we must knock it down.
I may be able to do that. Andrew failed to save his friend and blames himself for it.
He shouldn't.
Easier said than done. Shame is a queer bird. That shite doesn't wash off.
None of this explains what binds the ghost here. Ready and waiting. Spectre, going for a meat suit.
Kiss for you.
Watch out. Spectre possession.
Marcin left. Bloody howlers.
Move, Red.
Piss off.
It's like this spectral nest is just waiting for my intervention.
Unveil yourself.
This isn't over yet. Careful. They mean business now. Call on them. They never learn, do they?
Reinforcements!
They never learn, do they?
Good to see you living, sir. Keep it short, I'm on duty.
I don't usually bring it up, but I was a soldier too.
Thought as much. Where'd you fight?
Well, first I fought my way across half the Highlands. Later I'd fight wherever my paymaster sent me. Bavaria, Bohemia, Austria.
What's your war story then? We all have one.
I took my men into a village, let them at the drink. You can imagine the rest. I didn't partake, but I didn't stop them neither.
'Tis hard to keep God in your heart while you walk through hell. But you know what never leaves? The smell. That sickening, coppery vapor rising as a man's life pulls beneath him. For all those brave young boys we send off in search of glory, that stink is their rude awakening.
Easier to die with than live with, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But come. Blood soaks away. Let's not dwell upon the past, and men long gone.
You're not like this, but we must speak of Joshua.
Leave it be. In the past, where it belongs.
Your past is very much present. Your friend Joshua has a message for you.
He wants to take revenge. I know it.
You're no wrong. He wants to give you freedom. He never blamed you. You blamed yourself.
Why would he not seek revenge? He's due it.
He doesn't see it that way.
I shot him. I was trying to save him and I shot him.
Hold on. How did this happen?
We were skirmishing in the forest. Two Indian fellas bore down on Joshua. Dropped one, but the other had him cold. I was 20 yards away. I raised my musket, pulled the trigger. Bullet went straight through his skull.
Did you admit it later? I mean, no one would have thought the worst of you. A battle like that, well, shite happens.
Shite happens to shite soldiers. I said nothing. I wanted it over. I want it over. I don't want to live. I want to die. Please. Please. Put me out of my misery.
What is it with you people wanting to die? Deadly serious now. You sure this is what you want? You're in no doubt.
I'm certain. I can take it no more and do not want to.
No. You survived. Now you must live.
Joshua? Is that you? It cannot be. I saw you dead.
It is, old friend. I've tried for the longest time to speak to you, but your guilt took my voice. You must live in peace.
I have not the right. I shot you. I was sure my aim was good, but it was not. I shot you.
It was an accident, Andrew. You tried to save me. You failed, but you may make amends. Until you give yourself peace, I cannot have mine. Save me, Andrew, save me. Give yourself peace and save me.
Joshua, you have spoken. Andrew, you've heard. It's time to end the story.
Joshua Gouge, you've lingered in silence for too long. You can go.
I can. Thank you, Banishers. Thank you, Andrew.
Time to say goodbye, boys.
I'm sorry, my friend. I've carried the weight of your death as far as I can.
The debt if any, is paid. Live your life.
Farewell, Joshua. You've done your duty and more.
Farewell, old friend.
Go in peace.
I'm good for nothing after that. Thanks for your help. I'll not forget it.
Grey weather, as usual.